Hey, this is Monika Hoyt, and I've got 3 assertiveness techniques today that I want to share that will help you communicate in your relationship with integrity. The very first one that I'm going to share is something you may have seen before, and it's a way of expressing yourself that owns your feelings about something without blaming and without being a victim. It seems a little bit mechanical at first, but it really works. The formula goes like this. When you blank, I feel blank. Because I blank. In the future, I would like blank. So for the first part, you're going to stick to the facts only, something that's happened that you're now reacting to, the whole reason you're bringing something up. So let's say your husband is late, he's always late, and it really, really bothers you. It's been bothering you for a really long time. Now, you're just going to stick to the facts of this particular situation only. So you're not going to say when you are always late, but just when you were late last night. Or even that could be disputed. You want to make it something that nobody can argue with there. So better yet would be, when you came home at 11:20 instead of 10:30, I feel blank, or I felt blank. And for this part, it's very important that it's an emotion word only. So it wouldn't be, I feel like you don't care, or I feel like you were insensitive, because that's really just a veiled you statement in an I statement. Instead, you're going to stick to a word like frustrated, worried, sad, nothing like a thought. For example, I felt disregarded, even technically, is considered a thought, not an emotion. So be really careful there. And if you think about it carefully, you'll notice that there's not actually that many emotion words. So that simplifies it a little bit. The third part is because I, and then you're going to share something about you that is really shedding light on why you're having the feeling that you're having. So for example, it could be, I tend to worry, or for me it's important to be on time, or even I miss you at night. So just keep it about you. And then for the final part, in the future, I would like blank. And you're going to request a specific action. So not, I would like you to be more sensitive, but instead, I would like you to call me when you're going to be late, for example. So what would this look like once it's completed? When you came home at 11:20 p.m. instead of 10:30 p.m., I felt afraid because when I don't hear from you, I worry something bad has happened. In the future, please call me to let me know when you'll be home. This owns your feelings, it doesn't blame, and it asserts your wishes. It's a perfect combination of expression and respect, and it's right in the middle of ground. It's assertiveness, not aggression or passivity, and that's really what we're going for here. The second thing I want to raise is really important. I think this is one of the biggest things that we aren't often aware of, but many people habitually use questions as veiled statements. And Dr. Gay Hendricks talks about this in his book, Conscious Loving. It's important to look beneath the surface of questions to find the hidden statements. Your goal is to reveal, not conceal. So just verbalize what you really want. For example, instead of saying, haven't we talked about this enough for one night? Say instead, I'm feeling tired and I would like to finish this conversation tomorrow. That way you're owning your part and you're not being disingenuous or making the other person feel like it's about them. And finally, it's really great to learn healthy complaining, because I know a lot of times we feel like we can't bring things up because we don't want to be critical and we don't want to sound like a nag. But complaining can be constructive. In fact, constantly stifling your complaints will actually cause negative thoughts about your partner that will override the positive ones over time. So in service of honesty and preventing resentments, it's okay to complain as long as it's respectful, clear, specific, and immediate. So for example, it's okay to say, hey, you said you were going to cook dinner tonight, but you're still watching TV. Instead of saying, you didn't cook one meal all summer, or you never cook when you say you're going to cook. Because that sounds like a globalization. It becomes critical of your partner's character. So practice healthy complaining whenever you need to. Use it sparingly. You don't want to use it too much. But know that it is okay to bring things up in order to assert yourself. And the last thing I want to say is that in order to use these 3 techniques, which I personally think are the best ones out there, it's important to know what your own boundaries are. We have to know ourselves and what our boundaries are in order to assert them. So be sure to check out my video on setting boundaries in relationships. That really is the foundation and a prerequisite for these assertiveness techniques. Thank you so much for tuning in, and good luck with these, and we'll talk to you next time.